Somehow, someway, through injuries and off-ice distractions, the Winnipeg Jets very much in the thick of the Western Conference playoff race. And as we get closer to the trade deadline, we wonder if there's a move that they need to make to put them over the top just a little bit. Not that they've been shy to make moves at the trade deadline before. Let's bring in Rory Boylen. You can hear him on the Tape to Tape podcast. You can see his work on Sportsnet.ca. And Rory, let's start with this. You look at this Winnipeg Jets team, again, very much in it despite the season they've had off the ice. What do you think the biggest hole on this team is right now?
It's defense. It's obviously defense with this team. I mean, you lost Jacob Trouba in a trade last summer. Dustin Byfuglien doesn't seem like he's going to be playing this year, and probably never again for this team. Still waiting on the resolution of that, and how that, and that's going to influence how much cap space they have and all that going forward. So that's a big factor here. But the way the team has been playing, they have no problem generating offense. We know that. Their goaltending, Connor Hellebuyck, has been fantastic, and that's really the reason why they're still in the race here this year. It's the defense. No team, whether it's 5-on-5 or all situations, allows more high-danger chances, those ones right out in front of the net, the home plate area there. No team in the NHL allows more of those chances than the Winnipeg Jets. We think of the Chicago Blackhawks as like a defensively porous team. Winnipeg's even worse at
than
it.
them,
so,
right? Yeah.
So it's defense. Right now, Josh Morrissey is the only blue liner on that team signed beyond next season. I imagine Neil Pionk, who's going to be an RFA, is going to get his deal this summer, but they need some stability on that back end. They need some long-term hope on that back end. And this is a team still, to some degree, a window is open for them if they can shore up that back end. So if they can get something done at this deadline, then they should do it, not at a rental, but something more long-term. But this is also going to be something that they're going to have to continue to work on in the summer.
We're not in the if game here. We're assuming they do something at the deadline. Who are some players they should target then ahead of February 24th?
So again, no rentals. We can't be talking about rentals for this team, I don't think, unless it's a third pair guy that comes at a very low cost.
They've done that before, and it's cost them a few, draft picks, obviously, with Kevin Hayes and Paul Stastny in the past. And didn't really work out in terms of end goals, and neither of those players stuck around either. So,
I mean, that's the interesting dynamic that has changed here. When they made those two moves the last 2 years, they needed a second-line center, and they could give up a first-round pick because they were very much cup contenders. They were there.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting that they did get one of those first-rounders back from the New York Rangers in the Jacob Trouba trade. So really, they only lost one first-rounder. This year, it's not clear whether or not you're going to get into the playoffs or not. If you do trade away that first-rounder, it's got to be top 10 or lottery protected. Maybe you kick it down the road to next year. But we can't be talking about rentals. This team has got to be figuring out how to fix this problem on the back end next season, the year after. So we're not looking at the likes of Sami Vatanen and those kind of players. I would look at Alec Martinez from the Los Angeles Kings, who's got another year on his deal. Or maybe they get into the Josh Manson sweepstakes. He would cost more because he's under contract for longer, but none of them come with high cap hits. Both of them fill the exact need that Winnipeg needs to fulfill right now. And they're out there, it seems like, on the market. They're in rumors. So again, because they have term, it's going to be a little bit complicated in what that trade looks like. If it has to include a first-round pick, maybe it has to include a younger player like a Jack Roslovic, a guy who still tracks well, but there's so many forwards on that team, kind of like Toronto, where
he kind of gets lost in that shuffle
you get lost, right? And it's a strength, so maybe you can leverage that and use a forward to get a defenseman that you need.
Okay, so now you got to pick one. All right, you gave us two: Alec Martinez, Josh Manson. Of those two, who do you think would be the most optimal fit for this team?
I think it's Alec Martinez. I think he's the most attainable. LA very much is in sell mode right now. We know the Ducks love Josh Manson, but the Kings kind of have to sell. And Alec Martinez of the two seems the most likely to go, and he fits all situations. Even strength, power play, shorthanded, whatever. He does it all, so he would be the best fit for the Jets.
How great would that be for Connor Hellebuyck?
Fantastic.
Right?
I'm sure he's hoping to do something.
Still, despite, again, injuries and losing three big defensemen, Trouba, Byfuglien, Tyler Myers as well, we didn't even mention. Winnipeg still very much in that playoff conversation. We'll see if there are any moves to be made ahead of or on trade deadline day.